What is up, people? Rev Avi checking in live. Magic Quarantine Talk. What's up? I am here. Let me get my comments going. We're not even going to fuck around because yesterday we lost our feed. So let's try to get some people in here, give you guys a chance to show up, and we'll get started, all right? We're going to talk about, let's see, what the hell did I write down? We're going to talk about 6 myths about demons, okay? We're going to discuss 6 myths that exist, 6 bullshit, totally made up myths that exist about demons. And then we're going to talk about working with some various types of demons, spirits, and stuff like that, okay? So I'm going to give you guys a chance to get on here, and then we will get started. Let me get a smoke going. Yeah, buddy. Somebody's on here. Whoever that is, what's up? It is Erica. What's going on? Tag some people. I see somebody else jumping in. Fantastic. What's going on, guys? What is up? What's up? Showing the love, bringing that sweet, sweet, dark love that you crave so much. Yes, what's up, people? Okay. So I'm gonna let a few other people get here, and then we'll start discussing this stuff. So we're gonna talk about 6 bullshit myths that exist, okay, for some stupid reason or another that involve demons, okay? So this should be an interesting discussion. I wonder if any of you know about these myths or believe in some of these myths. Hopefully we can, crush some of that tonight. I'm going to give you some real insight, some true understanding. From those of you that do not know who I am, I go by the name Rev Avi. That is my writer script name. I've been practicing the occult and studying magic for more than 20 years. Okay, so I have plenty of experience from all the way in the far out, getting in trouble range, to the realistic understanding and application of a lot of these esoteric principles. Okay, so with that said, let's get it rock and rolling, guys. Let's talk about this shit. Okay, so the first myth that I have written down here is the idea that you can sell your soul to the devil or a demon. Okay, or any spirit or any type of entity. The idea of that is complete absurdity, guys. Okay, that's complete bullshit. So before we go any further, admins, you guys out there, moderators, come on. If those people come in here, let's try to educate them about the reality of this stuff. Just link them right to this video, okay? That's complete bullshit. There's no selling your soul to get $1 million to get the stuff that you wish for, like Satan is some type of genie that's in a bottle or anything like that. Forget it, okay? Now, what you can do is a dedication. You can do a dedication to an entity, a demon or spirit or God or something like that, okay? When you dedicate yourself to something, that's similar to a person choosing that religious path, okay? Now, the way that we do the dedication is usually with a tiny drop of blood. This just representing you putting your all, your life into the path that you choose to follow. Okay, that's what the dedication ritual actually is. It's a meeting with fear also. So usually when people come from right-hand path, religious structures and stuff like that, they need to get out of that previous brainwashing. And the only way to really do that, the only way to get past that is to face those fears. You're going to have to face that imaginary deity that existed on that other path, okay, and call them out and do everything in your power to face that deity one-on-one and renounce them. Okay, is the idea of the dedication ritual. Okay, so let's talk about the second myth. Here's 2. Demons are evil and destructive. Okay, they're just out to get humans. They're these bad things, like malicious sort of things that exist that are evil or something like that. Okay, that again is complete and utter bullshit. We're calling out the 6 demonic myths tonight. The second one is complete bullshit, that demons are evil and destructive. Okay, first of all, demons are the ancient gods. Let's state that first. Okay, the word demon comes from the Catholic Church. I've mentioned this before. This is a term that they applied to all other deities that were not the one monotheistic God. Okay, so any other god that was not their one god was then a demon, became demonized. Okay, it's just a word. So the real power, the real source, what demons really are spirits of nature. Okay, they are spirits and currents that exist within nature. These things are something that you can tap into. What's going on, Kuma? What's up, Larry? I see you guys, Asen. These are currents that you can tap into that affect you in different sort of ways. You can also work with them in different kind of ways depending on what type of spell or ritual that you're trying to cast, okay, or to make manifest, or you're trying to get involved with. So it depends on what you do, determining how they manifest. Okay, the third myth about demons, okay, is that they're created by or controlled / cursed by some type of god. Again, this is that right hand path, Christian Catholic belief of God creating everything, that monotheistic God view. Okay, that's complete bullshit. All right, that is just not the way any of this works. Okay, that is not the way any of this works. I already mentioned that they're the ancient gods. These things are forces that have been around since the beginning of time. Okay, if we were the first, this is how people come to understand demons. Okay, if we were the first people on earth, okay, the very first people on earth, we don't know why we're here. We're ass naked. We're just here. Okay, and we're going to have to try and then survive. The things that are going to be most important to you, okay, the things that are going to be most important are going to be fire, okay, shelter, food, okay. Then you're going to come across these animals that seem to have all different types of different powers. Some of them are fast and jump and eat your ass, okay, and fly around. There's all kinds of stuff that you're going to experience out in the world, right? So if we're the first people on earth and we're trying to make sense of this stuff, right, then you could start to try to understand how these ancient people would then personify those things. Okay, so then the bird is the bird man, because man is trying to understand the bird. Okay, it becomes the dog man, the goat man, the bafflement man, when man tries to understand the concept of the goat. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the animals represent the various powers in nature that exist. Also things like water. Okay, we're talking about water, air. All right, so these are the natural forces that exist in nature. Okay, they're also representing the various parts of the psyche. That's a little more in depth than I want to get into tonight, because we want to talk about these myths. Okay, so let's move on to number 4. The fourth bullshit myth about demons is possession. The idea of a demon possessing somebody and taking them over, and we're talking like the movie Exorcist, where you got to call a priest and holy water and just forget it. Okay, that's Hollywood. That's complete bullshit. That's not the way any of this works. Okay, possession, and I talked about this before. Possession is the highest form of invocation. Okay, so when you get on a demonic current and you start to take that, bring that energy into yourself, invoking it, okay, it's bringing it into yourself, then this becomes a part of you. The energy starts to become a part of you. This is what possession is. It becomes a part of you. So for instance, if you're working with a demon that's really lustful, like Asmodee, okay, then for instance, you might become more lustful because you're on the current of lust. You're on the sexual current. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so possession is 100% bullshit. That is something that only happens to Christians. Okay, let's talk about 5. Number 5 I got written down here. This is a important myth too. So we're getting to some real important ones here. That demons require blood sacrifice. Okay? That's bullshit. First of all, I talked about the only instance in which you would really ever, and I'm talking about ever, need to use blood. And that's for some type of dedication, a lifelong dedication to a deity, to the path, whatever. That would be the only instance in which you would truly even need to consider using blood. It's ridiculous, okay? The things you can offer as sacrifices, okay, are your energy, your life force, your time, okay, your time studying. Okay, I'm losing my camera, sorry. Your time studying, your effort. Okay, this is all going back to energy, your effort, your art. You can create art, music, plays. You could act out stuff. There's an innumerous amount of things. I mean, use your imagination. Life is art. Okay? So all those things become a form of sacrifice. You could sacrifice liquor, okay, food, things like that. You could build sigils. You could build things out of wood and make it in honor of the spirit. So maybe making that scrying mirror, like I talked about in a previous video, could be dedicated to a spirit specifically. You're making this mirror just to manifest that spirit. It would give that ritual act that even that much more power, because you're putting that much more energy into it. Okay, I hope this is making sense for you guys. Number 6, and this is the last bullshit myth I'm going to talk about. Then I'm going to get to your guys' comments and scroll back up and see what people are saying and stuff. Actually, let me do a little bit of that right now before I get to the last one. Okay, a lot of these are name tags. What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay. In Hebrew, daemon means wise old spirits or guardians. Yes, it also means bringer of knowledge. Okay, is another term or a definition for the word daemon, or including the I, D-A-I-M-O-N, instead of the D-A-E. Okay, so I'm not seeing many questions here. Danielle says, I think offerings and sacrifice gets tangled into one. Yeah, it does. I think that people are using that term sacrifice and offering very interchangeably. Okay, they're using those two terms, sacrifice and offering, very interchangeably and sort of freely, and that will confuse people that are new on the path and stuff like that. But you got to know that it's an offering. All of it's an offering. A sacrifice is an offering. Okay, they are technically the same thing, but it does not need to be blood or anything like that. Okay. 1, blood's dangerous to deal with. 2, it drains you because you have to heal and you need more energy to connect, not less. Okay, so there's a lot of factors that play into this. But anyway, let's talk about this last bullshit demonic myth that exists in the world for some stupid ass reason. It is that demons require worship. What? Yeah, they don't at all. You do not have to worship demons. You do not have to worship anything outside of yourself. The only thing you need to believe in to work magic on the left-hand path is yourself. You can be a complete atheist, okay, and still learn to understand the concept, the esoteric concepts and laws that are magic, okay, because this is science. So it does not matter, okay, if you worship them. They don't give a shit. Now, do I think that demons exist? Because this is going to bring up that question. Yes, I do think that demons exist. But I'm going to tell you this. When it comes to that, I specifically take the stand of the law of hermetics, which is duality, the law of duality, which means that I believe that they can be manifested externally and experienced in that way, as if you're talking to another person in the room, but also that the mind is absolutely 100% responsible for manifesting those things. Okay. And I talk about this a lot. That's why I wrote my book. It's a process of understanding what trance is, the phenomena that can be produced from trance, and then mastering those skills of understanding and applying them. Okay. So once you can do that, then you can absolutely make any type of spiritual experience happen at will. Okay. So with that said, let me get to some questions. Demons do not require worship. Okay. But the magic is very much real. So with that said, let me explain this last little, drop another bomb here. The rituals, the ritual, okay, all the stuff you do, the rituals are fantasy, but the magic is real. Okay. So let that sink in. The things that you manifest are absolutely real, but the ritual is 100% fantasy. This is us driving and creating our own energy, trying to send it out to attract the things that we want. So the manifestation is real, but the rituals and all of that stuff is complete fantasy. You could manifest stuff without candles and incense or any of that stuff. We've been doing it since the beginning of time. Okay, let's go to see if we can find some questions. Larry, so are you saying demons, spirits, etc. are psychological manifestations and nothing more? No, I'm not, Larry. He says, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to clarify what you're saying. Perfect. And let me clarify it a little bit deeper. So I'm not saying that they're not external things because the magic manifests. Because when you have a full-on spiritual experience like that and you're doing some type of ritual, be it sex magic or whatever, you still can get results. So the magic, like I said, the manifestation of those things are very real. Okay, they're real. But the fact that we know that we're pretending to have it when we're in the ritual chamber, because that's what the process requires. Okay, it has to be a reality. When someone goes into a trance, and I talked about this before. Let's say they're doing an evocation, and they're in their trance. They can full on see the demon or whatever, and someone busts in the room. Okay, this is the scenario. Someone busts in the room. The person that busts in the room is not going to perceive the demon that witch is conjuring. Only the witch will see the demon. Okay, because the other person is not in the same level of trance as the witch. Okay, but also, if both people were in there together, let's say the witch brought the other person in for the ritual to summon the demon, then both people could achieve the same trance state and perceive the same demon. So absolutely, they're external and internal. It's the law of duality. Both things exist. The coin always has two sides. Okay, you got to understand that. People always want to have a definite definition of things or a solid answer, but the fact is, the Hermetic law teaches us the law of duality, which means that both things exist. So stop trying to define whether they're coming from inside or outside, and accept that as above, so below, as within, so without, and just keep manifesting. That's the important thing. Just keep creating. Okay. I'm not saying they're sort of both, Danielle. I'm saying they absolutely are both. And the fact that people don't accept them as being both is why a lot of people cannot create the manifestations, because you can't understand, you won't take the time to understand the process that's going on with your own mind and your own brain. Okay, so that's what I write about in my book versus the ideologies. There's enough of the ideologies and books like that out there. And I'm going to talk about that too, because we're going to talk about working with various spirits, okay, that are out there. There's enough of that. So you don't really need that. What people need is to understand how to manifest that phenomena. How do I get to the point where I can see a spirit? How do I get to the point where I can hear spirits? How do I make the fucking Ouija board work? How do I astral project? How do I get to that point? And all of that, it involves the process of trance. Okay. Asen, I'm getting the angels and demons are the same, but called different by humans. Any thoughts on this? Yeah. So when it comes, and this goes into the working with various spirits. So I'll just jump right in on that. Yes, to answer your second question, Ace, and the ritual he asked is the ritual for the subconscious mind. Yes, it is. It's all about getting you to go into trance. That's why you're spinning in circles and moving stuff around and doing repetitive actions, because repetition is one of the things that will put a person into trance. Okay. So let me answer your first question, which is angels and demons are the same thing, but called different names. Okay. So when it comes to that, let's talk about working with various spirits, which is the second thing I want to talk about. Anyway, let's talk about a couple different types of spirits, and then I'll talk about my perception about what they are. Okay, which I already kind of covered, but we'll go a little bit more in depth on that. So let's just try to give a general breakdown of the types of things that people usually work with. Okay, that's going to be demons, angels. Okay, they're going to work necromancy, which involves working with the spirits of the dead or the shades of the dead in some form. Nature spirits, so we're talking gnomes, sylphs, salamanders. Okay, planetary spirits, which are specifically beings that come like from Mars, from Jupiter, etc. And then there's people out there that work with aliens. So I'm going to touch on that too, because a lot of people don't even speak about that. But there's actually people out there that work occult magic in an effort to contact aliens. And yes, I'm talking about extraterrestrials. Okay. So who's to say, and again, this goes back to the thing I love to say. I love this terminology, because this is going to like be my catchphrase in a minute. But when it comes to all of these things, the aliens, the demons, all of it together, nobody has the Ghostbuster testing kit. Ding. So when it comes to this stuff, nobody can tell you if it was an alien, a demon, a nature spirit, or grandma shoving a thumb up their ass. Okay, I'm sorry. There's just no way to tell. But what we can understand is the phenomena that gets produced by trance. That's what we can scientifically study. So with that in mind, I'm going back to my rule of duality, where I think that these things exist externally and internally, because we are creators. Because I think that every thought that someone puts true energy into, like creating a movie or writing a story or something like that, starts to manifest. So I think that if it was a crazy idea in someone's mind and they wrote it into reality, then so be it. There's aliens out there now just because of that. Okay. There's demons out there now just because of that. There's angels out there now just because of that. Okay. So since we are creators, since we are the God force, I think that they are absolutely both things. Okay. So I hope that clears that up. Okay. Cool. Let me scroll down. Here's another question from Asen. Would you say demons are negative energy and angels are positive energy? Not to be confused with good and evil, of course. No, I would not say that one is positive or negative. And I see that you're trying to avoid the terms good and evil, which is great. But no, I'm not going to say that one is positive or negative, because demons can appear. Well, the ancient gods, we're talking about specifically every god rejected by the church. So whatever. Demons appear in various forms. They don't take on any specific appearance. Even though a lot of grimoires tell you, oh, they appear like with Paimon, he appears on a camel, etc., carrying a flag. They don't always appear like that. Okay, that is there to give your mind something to grasp onto to try to make it manifest in the ritual chamber. That's your kick in the butt, your punch, your visual representation to get your mind going. Okay, they don't always look like that, and sometimes they can be very angelic looking. And positive looking. Sometimes they look like you. And I talk about this with a couple of people. My experiences with Lucifer, some of them have been him in the image of me. It was like I was talking or seeing myself. And it was like in a perfected form in the way that I wanted to be. It was like my body was perfected. Everything was perfect. Okay, I can't really describe, words can't describe what it was like. Okay, to see what I feel is a perfected version of myself. And I've seen different versions of myself, a demonic version, a humanoid type version. I've seen different versions of him where he was a ginormous, just enormous, like giant type of entity. And so it's like you never know what you're going to experience, okay, when they manifest. So what you do learn to understand is the current. You learn what that energy feels like, and then through the messages that you get, you can kind of relate which entity you're working with. Okay, you'll learn to understand that frequency. For instance, to try to explain it a little more in depth, if you light a candle and you put your hand over and you blindfold yourself and you put your hand over the candle, you can feel the heat. If you put your hand on an ice cube, you can feel that it's cold. You can feel the difference in things without having the ability to see it, is what I'm trying to get you to understand. You can differentiate between those energies. And I, like I said, I'm going to do the Life Force Power series. I'm not going to do it now because of this fucking tattoo. Like, my arm's really sore, so like going up over your head is kind of difficult. But as soon as I start to get better, which should be in a day or so, or next week sometime, I'll start doing those Life Force Power videos, and I will show you guys various exercises you can do to increase your life force and your chi. It's not going to be posted in this group. This is all going to be on the Patreon. I'm also going to do a tarot mastery course on the Patreon as well. So if you guys want to get involved with that, jump on there. I will put a link in this video once it's over. And let me see if there's some more comments. Danielle says, I've played with the idea that it's mistaken that they are subconscious aspects only, because potentially we've had relationships with them in prior lives. Demons do leave aspects of themselves slash their energy with you when you engage in things like invocation. So maybe it just stays with us. That's a very deep conversation we're going into there. So this is going to go into the understanding of reality as a total when we start to talk about stuff like that. And with that understanding of what energy actually is, energy actually cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. This is a scientific fact, okay? It can't be created. It can't be destroyed. It can only be changed. Energy can only be changed. So let that sink in for a minute. If energy can only be changed, that means that everything that's here has always been here and will always be here. So I hope that clears a little bit of that up. It seems like assessing different partitions of a hard drive. Yeah, actually, I don't know if it's Siren or Sren. I'm thinking Siren now that I read it, because I think I said Sren yesterday. Siren key makes a lot more sense. But yes, you could think of it in that way. If the mind was a total hard drive, okay, the conscious mind is just a little piece of that hard drive. So the memories and all that other stuff, the occult powers, everything else is inside the subconscious mind. And the funny thing is the subconscious mind is not like the conscious mind, okay? It doesn't judge, it doesn't care. The only thing it does is manifest shit, okay? Whatever message you send into it, it absolutely makes it reality, okay? And that's why things like psychosis and different, mental diseases exist, because the mind can go into creation mode and never come out. Okay, so that's why, that's why it's important when you're practicing to stay grounded in reality, to stay connected with people, to not actually isolate yourself in your house in the dark with candles. And I talk about that and make joke about it a lot, but that's the reason why, is because obsession happens. And when obsession happens, psychosis can happen and you lose your fucking mind. You do stuff that's not even logical, trying to contact some demon that may or may not exist based on the law of duality. So why, go to such desperate levels to reach something that you could prove existed by much easier means? And that's okay, Siren, if you're repeating stuff. I don't mind answering questions. Um, and yeah, in regards to the angel and demons thing, I see some jokes about trusting demons over angels. As far as the trust thing goes, I would say that that just has to be the way that it is. I'm sorry. I trust demons over angels because when you look at the stories, man, it's always an angel that comes down and destroys a whole fucking city or kills all the first fucking born or comes to flood the fucking earth or some shit like that. It's never like some demon. It's always some fucking angel. Okay, so yeah, you trust them if you want to, all those angel freaks out there, but I think that they've killed a lot more firstborn sons than any fucking demon has. And I worship the queen of them all, which is Lilith. Okay, and some of her stories talk about her eating the firstborn children of people and whatever, but there's not a single story about her flying down and destroying an entire fucking nation of people or flooding the entire earth. Okay, so with that said, we're gonna keep it moving. Um, so you guys want to talk about aliens, the people that work with aliens? um, yeah, aliens can be tricky. People they use some similar methods to what I use in my book. So a lot of those people know about pyramid frequency and stuff like that, and they're using them as generators to try to send signals into outer space. Okay, and they're using their intent and stuff and trying to send out brainwave signals to contact extraterrestrials. And yes, they do have success, and yes, aliens do show up and answer questions and stuff like that. It's the weirdest fucking thing. There was a guy actually, and he was a right hand path guy, like totally convinced that he discovered something in the Bible that allowed him to conjure UFOs. And it was the weirdest thing. This dude was on the news. Okay, this was on the fucking news. This guy with his Bible in some baseball field in the middle of fucking nowhere, reading these prayers, and then the camera looks up and you see the little ball of light come flying fucking down. If you're on live TV, it's aliens. And it was just a white ball of light, and it flew around, let you knew that it was there, and then took back fucking off and disappeared. So, they do have experiences with fucking UFOs also, and alien connection. The guy's name actually is Prophet Yahweh. You guys can look this up on Google if you're curious about what I'm talking about. I'm not making this shit up. That dude's name was Prophet Yahweh. He was on the news. There were videos on YouTube and all over the place. Look that dude up. He's a fucking strange guy, and he has like a whole summon UFO with the Bible cult. So people are talking to aliens. The mind can connect with whatever it wants. It can create whatever it wants. That's why I stand on that theory. Okay. Yeah, I just told you, Stephen, about that. Stephen was saying they have a different experience in the ritual chamber, and I just told you about what their experiences are like. They are looking to the sky and having manifestations like you would get in a scrying mirror in the sky. Okay, and like I said, if you have several people present for the ritual, you all can experience the same damn thing. So there we go. But yeah, look that dude up, Prophet Yahweh, and you guys can watch that weird fucking video where the ball of light comes in the sky right when he asks it to. But yeah, no. It has to connect with me. Demons connect with me. I feel like they're a part of me. They're already inside of me. They're in my blood. They're in everybody's blood, which is why people are so fucked up. They're like, oh, I'm bipolar, I'm angry, and then I'm sad. And then it's because we're full of demons, man. I think that that's where we come from. I think that those are our ancestors that everybody talks about. The ancestors. I think that we're all immortal, and like the idea of the ancestors is our creative ability to manifest those types of things. Okay. And it's really deep. It's super deep, and I could go into my philosophy on all of this stuff, but we only have so much time. Let's see. Larry says everyone, I would think, would have a different experience. Also, different appearances according to the person doing the ritual, right? It's a very personal experience, in other words. Yes, that is correct, Larry. So I've done some weird tests with this type of stuff. By doing rituals with people, by myself with different people. Okay, not just like, oh, I did it with two other friends specifically. I've done rituals with a lot of people. Okay. Um, and by doing that, I've been able to see what type of phenomena they have based on what's said and done during the ritual. Okay. So it absolutely affects what happens with them. Okay. And this goes into some deep stuff that's in my book as far as the phenomena of trance and stuff. So if you, I think you might have a copy on the way already, but it goes to break down the phenomena. When you start to understand that phenomena, okay, that's in there, and how it manifests, absolutely. Then you'll start to work on how you do things, what you say, and stuff like that. Okay, you start to be able to fine tune your rituals to get exactly the experience you want. Okay, Stephen, Michael the Archangel is not fluffy and light in the slightest. I'm not. We're not. I'm not doing the angel talk. Sorry, I'm just gonna skip past that. I already told you how I felt about that, so I'm not gonna discuss it. Asen, I was leaning towards them corresponding to each other, 72 angels and 72 demons, high and low, light and dark, etc. Some people like that idea. Some people love to split the world into dark and light and all of that stuff. Duality, I get it. Okay, I get it. But the fact is when you start to work with this stuff, and we're talking about specifically like sacred geometry and numerology and stuff like that, we should be simplifying, not making more difficult. We should be simplifying. Okay, so I think that the situation is there's people out there that are good natured people. They would never harm a fly. They don't believe in getting revenge. They are just do-gooders, okay, to the hardcore. And you know what happens to do-gooders to the hardcore? They get slapped by people like me that are realistic and think that when you bump into me in a crowd, you better apologize or I might just push your ass back. Okay. So, with that said, I'm not going to just let every little thing somebody does fucking slide and be a fucking doormat. I'm not going to get slapped on the cheek and turn the other cheek, because then if you do that, I'm just going to slap you on the other cheek because, like, why not? If you let me slap you once, I might as well slap your ass twice. And some people think that's a bully type of mindset, but this is a dog-eat-dog world, and so you better get busy eating. So Nicole says servitors, cryptids, I don't know if I spelled that right. Skinwalkers, Wendigo, been around for ages. Yeah, I guess it kind of goes into the realm of servitors, if you will. But I don't think that it's that same process. Now you can make a servitor, okay. Some people think that the demons are servitors, like they were just created. I would have to agree with that because it's not like they were the characteristics of them existed in a physical form in reality. Otherwise, we would still have them. You get what I mean? There's not winged people walking around. Okay, so with that in mind, I would have to say yes. The personification of adding animalistic parts to a humanoid is something that is absolutely created of the mind, which does make it a servitor in a sense. But it doesn't change the fact that these things, like I said, are external and internal. They can affect the outside reality just like they can affect you on the inside by having an experience. So I hope that helps with that understanding. Okay, I see people laughing. Cool. So with that said, guys, let's see, what else did I write down here? Aliens, possession. I touched on it all. Okay. I think I talked about everything I was planning on talking about on here. Okay. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I am going to be wrapping this thing up pretty soon. Danielle Asen, she's talking to Asen. They're still talking about damn. See, that's why I don't even like talking about angels. People get talking about them and all that shit. You guys are just giving power to that shit. Don't you know that? The more you talk about it, the more power you give to that shit. So you're all sitting in the left-hand path group and you're all giving away your power to freaking angels. I won't even talk about them by name. That's how unimportant they are to me. People can love it, but I'm not giving any power to that church idea or any of that, Until they scrape a piece of a Christ body or hair or nail or something, I'm not listening to any of that shit. I need a piece of a Moses. I need a body that belongs to one of them motherfuckers out of that book. I'm not buying any of it. I got King Tut. I got fucking all the other ancient stone monuments and stuff to prove all of that shit. Just show me one body from the Bible that's really some significance there. Okay? We're talking about one of them prophets, one of them fuckers, Moses. Give me one of those and I might give it some credit. But there are none. Okay. So, with that said, guys, much love. I'm going to wrap it up, all right? Much love. Do some research. Be careful what you believe in. Don't believe anything. Test everything. Believe nothing. The ritual is fantasy, but the magic is real. Catch you later.